Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's start our class. So welcome everyone. I hope everyone's Damodar Mass is going good. Today is the third day. I hope you're all involved in extra services for the Lord Damodar's pleasure. And this attempt is also just to get some more knowledge what Krishna is telling about himself, so that we can come closer to the Lord and serve him even more nicely. So last week we had opportunity to listen from His Grace Ganesham Prabhu. He very nicely explained, very detailed explanation of the verses. So we'll just do a quick revision of those verses which Ganesham Prabhu covered, and then we will start today's discussion. Just quickly in the PDF file. So we are in this last two sections now, which is the vision of the Jnani or Paramatmavadi. So he's able to see the super soul, and then introduction to the Dhyan Yoga and Peace Formula, which we will start talking today, and hopefully we'll finish this 5th chapter today. Okay, so Kansham Prabhu last week started from 5:16. So we'll start there. So the top one we have Prasannatma Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Would you like to do 5:16?
Yeah, let me try. 5:16. However one is enlightened with knowledge by which science is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sunlight. Sun lights up everything in the daytime. So here it says the knowledge about the Lord Jnanena tutat ajnanam means when you have this transcendental knowledge, the darkness we have within our heart, like engrossed in material life, that can be destroyed. They given the example of Ganesham Prabhu gave that when the sun comes in the morning, the mist disappears. And similarly, when the knowledge of the Lord appears in our heart, all our science will be destroyed.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Just one thing, maybe we can just look at the 5:15 as well,
Yeah.
just to connect. So, nadate kaschit papuna chayapasitam vipu agyanena vratam jnanam ten mayant jantava. So the third line it says agyanena avratam jnanam. So avratam is covered, agyan obviously is agyan, ignorance, and jnanam is the knowledge. So knowledge of the living entity jantavaha is covered by agyan. So now the next verse, which is 5:16, as Prasannatma Prabhu explained, that jnana, if it comes in our heart, what it does, Tad Ajnanam refers to which Ajnanam? 5:15 Ajnanam, which has been spoken in 5:15. So that Ajnan, that nascence, that ignorance is destroyed. Yesham Nashitam. So Nashitam refers to the destroy. Atmanaha. So Atmana refers to the living entity. So living entity's ignorance is destroyed by Jnana. And the analogy given in this particular verse is Tesham Aditya Vajagyanam. So if Aditya refers to sun. So when the sun comes in the sky, everything is enlightened. Now, this sun refers to the complete knowledge sun. But at the moment, if you talk about our practical situations, we don't have sun in our heart, but we may have little torches in our heart. What is the torch? The torch of little knowledge which we have at the moment, which gives us little connection with Krishna. Many times, if not all the times. Many times we read some Shastra, we hear some nice kirtan or katha, we really feel some connection, some ecstasy, some happiness, inner happiness I'm talking. We all feel at different stages of our seva. So they are like the little torchlights. The little torchlight gives us some inspiration to go forward. But so far, we, at least at this stage, I can say for myself, we don't have any realized knowledge. Like a sannyasi, externally looking like a human being, but internally he is fully illuminated. So it says when that illumination come in our heart, and we also sing every day in Guru Aarti, Divya Gyan Hirday Prakashito. So the Divya Gyan, the transcendental knowledge, Prakashito, our spiritual master will enlighten in our heart. So it's nothing to do with outside. Outside, whatever we are practicing, obviously, is to show to our spiritual master, to show to senior Vaishnavas that we are desiring, we are serious to get that knowledge. And they, by their mercy, will give us that knowledge in our heart. So this Gyan will help us to achieve Vigyan. So Gyan refers to the piece of information. Vigyan refers to the realized knowledge. So this realized knowledge here, it's been compared with the light of sun. So when the sun comes, we don't need any torchlight. But till the time sun is not there in the sky, what do? I have a little light on top of my laptop right now. Huh? So I have to work with this light because we don't have sun at this stage. So whenever we don't have that sun, don't have that knowledge, don't have that realization till that stage, what do? We work with these little torches. And whose responsibility is to pick up these torches? Our responsibility. And that's what we are doing sadhana. Our sadhana will act as like a little torches. When we go to hear some katha or kirtan, to do some seva, our hope is in return, we get some more mercy. And what does mercy equates to in practical life? I've discussed about it. What does mercy translates to in our practical life? It's not some lightning coming to our heart. What does mercy equates with? Our attraction towards Krishna. Sorry, Mataji, you were saying something. You're on mute.
Sorry, Prabhu. Mercy comes through the through like Krishna Prasad and then association of devotees.
Yeah, but what does the mercy mean to us?
We get more seva to do, more mercy.
More mercy, but what does mercy mean? Attraction towards Krishna, simple. So if today we have, say, 2% attraction for Krishna, after serving Vaishnava, we should be feeling 2.5% or 3% or 4% attraction towards Krishna. So when we progress towards Krishna, that is called mercy. Otherwise, mercy is just a theoretical word. It's just a lip service. We call, oh, Prabhuji, I need mercy, 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 mercy. And when you give them the seva, they disappear. Huh? Or they do seva in such a way you never ask them again. Yesterday in a program, we were talking about 6 types of low quality servant. Huh? So how we have this mentality of doing seva with very low quality, very, very low quality. And we feel that, oh, I also need mercy, but we don't even know what does mercy mean. So mercy has nothing to do with our external, even nothing to do with hanging around with our spiritual master, taking photos and posting on the Facebook. I was also with this person. Huh? So that's not the mercy. Mercy is our heart should feel more attraction towards the service of Krishna. Automatically. I really want to go to Mangala. I really want to chant some extra rounds. I really want to go to temple. I want to help in the kitchen. I want to help in the deity worship. I want to do something for Krishna. Once Prabhupada was asked, how do you feel that you are advancing? One answer which Prabhupada gave, he gave many answers. One answer he gave, so one time he said, others will let you know if you're advancing or no. So other devotees around you will let you know. Another time he gave answer, when you go in front of Radha Gopinath or any deities, you should ask Krishna. So usually what do we ask Krishna? Krishna, there's so many problems in my life. Can you please help me resolve those problems? Huh? Can you get me some more money, better house, and blah, blah, blah. But when you go in front of Krishna, Prabhupada said, you should ask naturally, Krishna, what can I do for you? This natural question appearing in your heart is the sign of advancement. If Krishna is doing for you or you want to do for Krishna. So generally we start, Krishna should do for me, not I do for Krishna. Devotees should do for me. Everyone should do for me because I'm so special, I'm so great, I'm so advanced, I'm so intellectual, or whatever our illusions are. So when we have that mentality, we are not very advanced, we are not developed as yet. So, but when we have this tendency of from ahankar to kinkar. Ahankar means, what can you do for me? Kinkar means, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? If we have this mentality naturally occurring in our heart, when we see a Vaishnava, we want to do something for that Vaishnava, whatever our little capacity may be. But we have this feeling, it's not you only donate $1 million, then you're a devotee. No, whatever you have, you want to share, you want to give. You have a tendency of giving rather than taking. That's called advancement. So when you go in front of Radha Gopinath, you say, Radha Gopinath, what can I do for you? Now, technically, what can you do for Radha Gopinath? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What can you do for Radha Gopinath? Nothing you can practically do. But still, Radha Gopinath through devotees will tell you, I need, Ganesham Prabhu will say, I need help in the DT department, I need help in the kitchen department, I need help in the management. He's expanding the CLT. Some devotees are coming forward, which is very nice. So temple is expanding. We need help from more and more devotees. So when you naturally have these feelings for Krishna, that means you're advancing. That means the sun is little bit lightening. Sun is little bit lightening, and you're getting more mercy. Otherwise, our kinkar is not appearing. Kinkar means service to others, Krishna or Vaishnavas. If only ahankar is increasing by doing the seva, that means actually we are going backwards. We are going backwards. So we should be very, very careful. We go forward, not backwards. Service should be able to give some artha, not anartha. Very important. So artha means something which is useful. Now we have a different definition of artha than the normal world. Our artha definition is money, facility, power, controllership on others, proprietorship on others. That's what we call as artha. That's not the definition of artha in Vaishnavism. Artha is something which connects us with Krishna. That's artha, and something which disconnects us from Krishna, that is anartha. And that's why we have anartha nivritti. Anartha nivritti. We have no other attractions other than Krishna or Krishna seva. So that is called artha. So we need to be able to develop that artha in our heart, not anartha. If I become more proud after doing a seva, actually I have done anartha. Now it doesn't mean you quit the seva. No, you have to do the seva, but do the seva under the guidance of Vaishnavas. You read Srila Prabhupada books, all your anarthas will go. Prabhupada will beat you in every single page. You are a das, you are a das, you are a das. You read other Bhagavad-Gitas, I don't want to name it, many big famous scholars, they will say, all this nature is appearing from me. They have literally written, you can read in the translations. The nature is appearing from me because I am Brahman. I'm the same Brahman. So they write like that. But you read Prabhupada, Bhagavad-Gita, all the anarthas will go very quickly. So this is called Aditya Vaj Jnanam. So the jnana which appears in our heart is nothing to do with how many shlokas we know. Yeah, the shlokas may help to know Krishna better. Definitely, we must learn shlokas. And ideally, actually, that's the target. His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj was telling, very nice example, very simple one. He says, a tree which has fruits is always going downwards. A mango tree, for example, has lots of mangoes. So tree will not be standing like a stone. It will bow down. It will go down. So if gyan, real gyan is coming, the person will become humble. That's a sign of his knowledge. And then we can relate and we can see many devotees around. They are so humble, very knowledgeable, very advanced in devotion, but they are so extremely humble. And some others, women a little bit, they will be very proud. So vidya dadati vinayam, vinaya dadati patratam. So vidya dadati gives vinay. Vinay means humility. Always gives humility. And then once you have humility, you can do kirtaniye sadahari. Unless you have humility, you cannot do kirtan of sadahari. And that's why we all struggle. We all struggle in our kirtan because we are not humble. Sorry to say that. Somewhere or other, we all feel, hum bhi kuch hain. We are also something. So that gyan is probably present in a very little stage. So to increase that gyan, we need to serve the Shastra, serve the Nashtra Prayeshu Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavad Sevya. As Prabhupada writes, Bhagavad means the book Bhagavad and the person Bhagavad. When we serve both Shastra and the Shastrik, then we get that Aditya Vajjnana in our heart. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was saying very nicely, we can learn all the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, but the tattva of Bhagavatam will only understand when we serve the Vaishnavas. Tattva will not understand. Shloka we can cram, no problem. 18,000 shlokas we can probably cram, but tattva will not. So this is called Aditya Vajjnanam. So this will arise in your heart, and then you will see everything in a spiritual way. As Prabhupada could see everywhere Krishna. Even if you see, I just remember one thing very nice. He saw advertisement of a steel, unalloyed steel. Steel, not steel, unalloyed steel. And Prabhupada says, unalloyed devotion. Devotion is unalloyed. Everything else is mixed. Even steel is mixed. Steel is a mixture of a few metals. I don't know what the quantities are. Rupam Prabhu probably knows better. But it's a mixture. It's a mixture. But bhakti is the only thing. Ananya bhakti is the only thing which is not mixed with anything. Anya abhilashta shunyam jnana karmadi anavratam. So Prabhupada said, unalloyed steel. That's not correct. Unalloyed bhakti. We have that unalloyed bhakti. Prabhupada said that we have. Prabhupada was looking at an advertisement of a paint cane was sort of pouring down on a house in an advertisement. And they were saying, we cover the world. Prabhupada said, that's not correct. We cover the world. Devotees cover the world. This world is for devotees. So many things Prabhupada. Prabhupada could see Krishna everywhere. When we go out, we say we get distracted. Prabhupada was not getting distracted. He was able to see all these advertisements. These advertisements tempt us to buy some products, for example. But Prabhupada was completely seeing Krishna, even in those advertisements everywhere. Prabhupada was looking out of the window. And usually, when we look out sometime on the street, this car, that car, some attractive car or non-attractive cars, Prabhupada was looking at the road. And what he was looking at the trucks. Someone asked, Prabhupada, what are you looking at? Trucks. I'm looking at truck. And Prabhupada explained why I'm looking at the truck. So I want to arrange Jagannath Rath Yatra in one of these trucks. These trucks are very suitable. That time they only had trucks. So first Rath Yatra was arranged on a truck, on the back of the truck. So Prabhupada looking outside the window, we looking outside the window, very different, very, very different. Why? That Aditya Gyan is established in his heart because he is Krishna Prasthaya Putra. He is very dear to Krishna. He's personally sent by Krishna. He's empowered by Krishna. So we are looking for that. There is no other enlightenment as we see in some other organizations. Okay, so Prakashyati Tat Param. So Tat refers to here, supreme. Tat refers to supreme. Param, that supreme person, we will be able to see in our heart. Okay. I saw a hand earlier. Probably it's down now. So hopefully that.
Can I do this one?
Yes, Mataji, just 1 second. Anyone had any question? Was it Ujjwala Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, but it got answered when you
Haribol.
explained.
Very nice.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu, I have a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure, Mataji, please.
Sorry, I don't know how to put it right. But Prabhu, like, how important is that knowledge when compared to developing bhakti? Like, for example, like, as I'm getting older, it's very hard for me to get the grasp of, the complete gist of what Bhagavad-Gita is. Like, I can understand a little bit, but it's hard to remember the stuff. So sometimes it's very depressing as well, like, and not able to get that knowledge. But how is it like proportionate to the devotional service to get more knowledge or developing? I know it helps to develop bhakti when you have that knowledge, but how to come out of that thing?
Yes, Mataji. I'll give you 2 examples. Let's give one example of Krishna, because I like to quote as much as possible from Krishna or Prabhupada or our acharyas, and then we can look at our simple examples as well. So it's just 1 second. I think 72. So read a Bhagavad Gita verse from 18th chapter. I can't remember, somewhere here. Okay, so would you like to read this, Mataji, just a translation?
Yes, Prabhu. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship me by his intelligence. So what does Krishna say? One who studies. Krishna is not talking about one who understands. That verses 68 and 69. So there are 4 Falashruti verses of Bhagavad Gita, which is given by Krishna. So there is 68, 69, 70, and 71. So 4 verses are there. So in this particular verse, what he's talking, very clear, by Krishna, one who studies. So what are we doing right now? Studying. Now, how much we understand and retain, that's a different. I also don't retain anything. But if you study the sacred conversation of ours, worship me by his intelligence. So right now, what are we doing? We are worshiping Krishna. So some people prefer to go to Damodar program, especially for offering the lamp. So obviously, if you're organizing the program, that's fine. But you are right now offering a lamp to Krishna. It is said by Krishna. I'm not saying anything. So just by studying, we are worshiping Krishna and we are coming closer to Krishna. Now, about retention, I'll give you another example.
I think this example was given by Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, and Prabhupada quoted this many times as well. So there was a child living with his grandfather, and his grandfather will tell this child to read Bhagavad-Gita every day. And this child will try to read Bhagavad-Gita, but he, as usual, say, Dadaji, I don't understand anything. Huh? So what's the need of reading the Bhagavad-Gita? So his Dadaji, his grandfather, was a very intelligent person. And he said, okay, no problem. Can you help me with something else? He said, yes, anything else, but not reading Bhagavad-Gita. A small child, 8-10-year-old child. So his grandfather gave him a coal bucket, a very, very old coal bucket, which had a lot of holes. I'm sure everyone is nodding their head, understand the story. So he asked, just for everyone's benefit and for my benefit as well. So he asked this guy to take this coal bucket, go to the river and get me some water. Before the water falls down, you should come and give me the water. So this boy ran with the bucket. He tried to get some water from the river and he ran back to the house. But by the time he came, all the water was out. So Dadaji said, you have to go back again. So he went back again. He did it 2 or 3 times. He said, Dadaji, why are you giving the exercise? It is of no use. I'm not able to get the water. But he said, look at the bucket. Look at the bucket. Bucket is clean, much cleaner than before. Although our purpose was not to clean the bucket, but just by dipping in that water. So our intelligence, just by getting some dips in Bhagavad Gita, maybe we just sit for 2 hours, right? And we'll never look at the book again. Just these 2 hours is our eternal sampatti, is our eternal wealth. No one can take it away because we have at this moment no other purpose except to just read and relish what our acharyas have told us, and we are discussing with each other whatever we understand a little bit. So don't worry about the retention too much. Keep dipping your bucket, and one day you will see your bucket is clean, and that's the purpose. That's the purpose. And inside your heart, when His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj will inspire you, and you'll be able to recite whole Bhagavad Gita with closed eyes. You never know. Mukam karoti vachalam. So mukam, even if we have no power to speak, we can become vachal. We can become very eloquent speaker by the mercy of our spiritual master. But spiritual master needs to see, are we really desiring to get it or no? So we are just showing him like a little child. So I think we just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. One day it will happen. Okay. And one more thing I just remembered, Gajendra, he learned the prayers in his previous birth. But in that birth, he never really used the prayers. In next birth, he used the prayers. So all the Bhakti Shastri exam, which will probably force us a little bit to cram some verses, you never know when they will be used. Draupadi's spiritual master was Vasishtha Muni. Vasishtha Muni told to Draupadi just after the marriage had happened. So he told, my dear daughter, if you are ever in great calamity, remember Govinda. So when Draupadi's so-called disrobing was happening that time, Draupadi approached every single person. And then finally she remembered the instruction of her Guru Maharaj, Vasishtha Muni, which has told, when everyone rejects you, call out for Govinda. Then Draupadi called out Govinda. So spiritual master's instruction, when it will be useful, we never know. So keep grabbing whatever is possible. And eventually it will purify us. It will give us eternal wealth.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, 517, Jamati Mataji would like to do that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Gopi Mataji, for asking that question. I'm in the same boat.
What about me? I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Only because all of you are merciful unto me, you're giving me opportunity to read, honestly. Otherwise, why I will read? I'll probably go.
No, Prabhu, we all are in the same boat. And thank you for answering that so beautifully. I mean, that does boost our confidence, I would say.
We are all in the same boat. That's why we are supposed to do Sankirtan. Sankirtan is Samya Kirtan. We do Kirtan together. And then it really helps us. It really helps us. Doing alone, it's very difficult. Okay, 517.
Okay. When one's intelligence mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. So connection with the previous verse is that Kancham Prabhuji said that if a building was burning and we're in the room and we're trying to escape. So the first, the previous verse was you're trying to escape, but where do you have to go is in this, where do you have, you need to go. So this is about liberation, going back to Godhead. This is the verse that tells us. So it tells us there are four topics. So here it says Tad Buddhyas is the intelligence, those whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Then the other one is mind, and then faith, those who have faith, which is sorry, I will tell the Tad Atmanas is mind, and then Tad Nishthas is faith, having full faith, and Tad Parayana is having complete surrender in Krishna. And so those who have complete surrender to Krishna, what they do, what they do, sorry, give me 1 second, is they are focused on Krishna consciousness. They become cleansed and they proceed straight to the path of liberation. I think there was an example given. So the example was that he was saying that the who is the doer? I think that was that Prabhu from there, is that correct? Who is the doer and who's getting? There was an example given by the axe, the hand, and Ishvara. So so the hand that cuts, so the desire that the jiva has, they are the ones who gets the whether they are sinning or not sinning, is because of their desire. So axe is Prakriti and Ishvara is the sanctioner. So yes, Prabhu, just is that right? I don't know, just a little bit of.
Just a little elaboration. Thank you, Mataji. You give the right example. This example is given by, anyone can say? Who gave this example? Okay, Ganesham Prabhu.
Baladev Vidyabhushan.
Baldev Vidyabhushan. So Baldev Vidyabhushan is a very great commentator on Bhagavad-Gita. He gave this example. Mataji, maybe you can add one thing: the woodcutter, the hand, and the axe. So there are three things. So woodcutter desires, he uses his hand to pick up the axe or something, and then he cuts through the axe. So who is the cutter? The hands are the cutter, the axe is the cutter, or the woodcutter. So obviously, wherever the desire is getting initiated, that will be, if you suppose, you should not, but cut a person through an axe, so who will get the punishment? The person who has used the axe or the axe itself? Axe is just an instrument, but the person who desired to hurt someone else, he will get punished. So wherever the desire is coming from, so in this nature, these examples, just to add, there's example of 5:15. Now 5:15, we understood who's the doer. Then we are proceeding further in 5:16 and 5:17. So that's a very, very nice example, which Prabhuji said. That is 5:15. Now 5:17, Mataji has explained very nicely. Just one question I have. Tad, what does tad refers to? Tad, tad, tan, tat. It is used 4 times. And the previous verse as well. If you see 5:16, same. Tat param. What does tat refers to? I just said. Tat, huh?
That was supreme.
Supreme. Thank you, Mataji. So we all have our buddhi, right? We all do many, many things in the world with our buddhi. Some people have more, some people have less. We all have atmanas. We all have mind. We all have nishtha. We have some faith. I think Dinabandhu Prabhupada disciple, very, very senior Vaishnava, he was explaining very nicely. Even to say atheist means one who has no faith in God. They need to take the help of word God. Even atheist cannot be atheist without the help of God. So that is a proof of the existence of God everywhere. So even atheists are not without God. They are also with God, but they have this faith. I don't have faith in God. Their faith is to have no faith in God. Everyone has the faith. And everyone takes shelter of someone. Some people take shelter of their family, their money. Some take shelter of alcohol or drugs or cigarette and whatnot, right? So we all have these four qualities, so we can't deny it. But these four qualities have to be directed towards what? Tad, 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 tad. That's important. So you cannot say, oh, these four qualities. Yeah, these four qualities we all have. Even the people in the a bar, they also have this. What do you call? Beer bar? What's the name? Where you go to for drinks on Friday night? Anyway, whatever. So they also have these things. They have buddhi, which bar is better. They have their mind. With the alcohol, they will take some snacks. They have their nishtha. Whereas, where are my beer mates? And they take shelter of this bottle of alcohol. I went to some office celebration, whatever, non-celebration but slash celebration. So they saw a bottle there, which was, I can't remember, but probably $2,000 or something. And it was 1970s water. And it was $2,000. They were like literally watering their mouth. I wish I could drink that wine. Some devotee, he was telling in Hindi, what's the meaning of sharab? Sharab means sada hua pani. The pani, the water which is gone off, that is called as sharab. Sada hua pani. And to drink that sada hua pani, they pay thousands of dollars just upfront. And then later, when they get sick with their liver and whatnot, for medication and treatment, another thousands of dollars. So much frustration, so much violence and crime just based on that sada hua pani. Anyway, so these four things, everyone has it. So we should just remember this is not important. As when we get initiation, Maharaj was saying, your name is not important. We are after a new name, nice new name. This Das or that Dasi and blah, blah, blah. But Maharaj said, that's not important. The important is Das. Das is important. And we forget that. What's your name? Hemanga Chaitanya, that's it. No, the first thing in the name is Das. We are Das, you are servant of Vaishnavas and the Supreme Person. You're the Das. So we forget that Das, and we always define ourselves. So we should write, we should think first time Das, then it's all detail. It's all detail. It's nice that name reminds me of Krishna or a Vaishnava, but the main thing is Das. I am the servant of that Krishna, or I'm the servant of that Vaishnava. So similarly here, third word is extremely important. We should direct our buddhi, direct our mind, direct our faith. Have faith in Krishna and take shelter of Krishna. It's very detailed, actually. It's very detailed. But if we do that, these four faculties, these are inner faculties. They're not outer faculties. It's not put some investment in Vaikuntha. They're selling land there. Pay 10% now, 90%. People are selling land on moon. I heard about it. I don't know how far it's true, but I heard about it. People are selling land on moon. And they're saying, after a certain number of years, you'll be able to go. And people have booked. Like they talk about, we are, from village. You are from village. They're paying millions of dollars just to go to moon for honeymoon. There is no moon and there is no honey, but they're paying money for that. So if you put your faith in Krishna or in Shastra or in Vaishnavas, Gachanti, you will go. Where you will go? Avrati. Avrati means again and again. We know that Avrati, frequency, again and again. Punaravrati means again and again repeating the same thing. Old cassette players, if you remember some time, they'll guess, the song will stop there. We are like that. We are stuck in the material world. And we are just stuck and we feel completely comfortable. I think Chaitanya Prabhu was saying, in this material world, we are comfortably miserable. Comfortably miserable. We don't even feel our misery. We think if we have a bigger house or a nice electronic gadgets, we are fine. How are you? We are fine. Lal Govind Prabhu or someone was saying, this is the biggest lie. Biggest lie. You are fine. You are not fine. First, you have to realize. Anyway, so if you follow these four faculties for Krishna, for that Supreme, obviously that Supreme is not defined as yet as Krishna, but saying Tad as a third person. Now this third person will be defined first time in this chapter in 529, where Krishna will say, Bhoktaram Miktapsam Sarva Lok Maheshwaram. I am that. So that third right now, because we are in the karma section saying Tad, third party. Gachanti will go apunar avrattim. So punar avrattim, again and again. Apunar avrattim is tad gatva nanivartante. When you go there, you never come back. Huh? And with that jnana, what will happen? Nirdhut kalmasha. Nirdhut means dhona. Cleaning. Huh? We all like cleaning our house, cleaning our clothes. So, but we can hardly clean our heart. There is no washing machine as yet, which can clean our heart. You know, we do have one, ISKCON, that's called ISKCON. You can chant, you can listen katha, you can participate in devotional seva. That's the only way of cleaning your inner contamination. Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, masad. There's no Samsung or Philips washing machine. I'm not aware of it. If you know, please let me know. I'll buy it. Where we put our heart, you know, and heart gets washed and we put it back. That will be nice. But unfortunately, that process doesn't work. They can only clean our these clothes. That's also not so good. But we put in a bucket and wash with the hand is best. Hand wash is the best. These machines don't wash so nicely. Anyway, hand wash or machine wash doesn't matter. But inside heart, we have to do Jnana Nirdhu. What will take away our kalmash, take away our Jnana? Huh? This Jnana obviously is Bhakti Anukul Jnana. So there are two types of knowledge. We'll talk about in NOD. Bhakti Anukul Jnana, one who increases our Bhakti, and one is called Bhakti Pratikul Jnana, which is not favorable for increasing our Bhakti. And that can be the same verse of Bhagavad-Gita. If I read it and I show it to others for my pride, the same knowledge becomes Bhakti Pratikul Gyan. But if I read it, I try to understand and apply it and share with others for helping ourselves and others in increasing the Bhakti, the same knowledge can become Bhakti Anukul Gyan, conducive to increase my devotion to Krishna. So when you have Gyan, that Gyan, which will take away all your karmash, contamination. And what you have to do, put four inner faculties in the service of Tad, that third party, supreme. Then what will be the result? Final result, Gachanti apunar avriti. We'll go there from where you never come back. Okay. Okay, 518. Now, if you, this is very important actually, 517. So we are putting our four inner faculties that will purify us of all the contaminations. If you are able to do that, what will be the result of that? That is explained in 518, which we read last time. Okay, who will do this one? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, I have a very quick question.
Sure, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu. I wasn't there in the last class, Prabhu, and I haven't heard the recording, but just when you explained about the doer and the desirer, so the person who has the desire becomes the doer
yes.
from that example.
So,
then, Prabhu, how does, in chapter 15, when Krishna says all the activities are actually initiated by me, when he uses the word sarvasya chaham riddhi sannavishto, does that, then he says
initiated by Krishna, facilitated by Krishna. So your child may desire to eat kheer, for example. That's just his desire, but he can't make kheer. He will approach mom or dad, probably dad. He makes nice kheer, and dad will make the nice kheer and give it to the child. So child doesn't have that facility or that capacity to make it. So all a soul can do desire. Pratyaya kriyamanani gunahi karmani sarvasha. So all the activities are executed by Prakriti after getting sanction from the Lord. Upadashta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara. So when you desire, or say a soul desire a wrong thing, for example, so Prakriti goes to the Lord. Lord says, should I fulfill the desire? So Durga Devi is asking to the Supreme Lord Vishnu, for example, right? Should I fulfill the desire of this Jiva? And Vishnu does the sanction. Visa laga diya. Thappa maar diya, huh? PR aa gaya. So you got the PR, you got the grant from the visa office. And then Prakriti say, okay, I'll do it. But you are responsible for it because you are the doer, right? So he thinks, because our body is so nicely integrated by Lord Brahma, mind, intelligence, falls, we really feel that I am something. Actually, we got nothing to do with this body, nothing to do with this body. But the integration, just imagine this, we make some little robot. I saw a picture, some China or Japan, somewhere. The robots are serving in a restaurant. So they don't have waiter or waitresses.
Even here, Prabhu, in Gold Coast, there is a
really?
restaurant.
Okay.
The robots are serving there.
What a technology. Sab log jaake dekh chuke hai. Only I am the one. Anyway, I have no desire to see these extra robots. I've seen enough. Anyway, the point is they're very proud of making these robots to serve in a restaurant. Imagine these robots which Brahmaji has made. We're also robots. What else we are? We are programmed. We are programmed that you are God. Some are more, some are less. But so what technology Brahmaji has given by Krishna? What a technology. And similar technology, when it's broken down into pieces, which is called Sankhya, you see everything in 24 elements. There's nothing else. Man, Buddhi, Hankar, and all this packaging, the dog and the human and the bird and the machhar, little mosquito, it's all same. But we have this ego of I am Hemanga Chaitanya Das or whatever. I am so good in this field. Sripalad Prabhu just laughs at, he said, all your illusions. I'm a great singer, I'm a great orator, I'm a great good look person, or whatever. Look at Brahmaji's technology, amazing. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. I think I heard somewhere in some lecture, Prabhu, where they translated as Krishna initiates the activities. So that's where I was confused, but I read the translation. It's actually Prabhupada has not written. Maybe in the lecture it might have just come out that way.
He sanctions, or he doesn't sanction. Suppose I desire to hurt someone. Suppose Prakriti goes to Krishna and say, should I fulfill the desire of this jiva? Krishna says, no. So, sometimes you have resentment in your heart. This person did this to me, this person that did to me, and I wish I could do something. But you don't have the power because Prakriti is not allowing you, Krishna is not allowing you. But sometimes you see Hitler, for example, he could hurt 1 million jivas. He could hurt. Krishna sanctioned for whatever reasons, he got sanctioned. But later he got sanctioned to commit suicide. The same Hitler who killed 1 million or 10 million, I think, Jews, he finally was so unsatisfied, he himself committed suicide. So, there is no end to it, no end to this craziness, how many hurtful actions we can perform to others and to ourselves as well. There's no end. So we all need sanction. Sometimes we desire, things happen, and we become very proud. See, my intelligence. I am very fortunate. I'm very intelligent. No, you just got a sanction based on your previous karma. Okay, Mohit Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, in this verse 518, there's a connection between 16 and 17. Like in 16 verse, we talk about that when we get enlightened with the knowledge, our nations is destroyed. We talk in 16 and 17. When the knowledge is there, we take the shelter of Supreme, and we go on the path of liberation. One become Krishna conscious, and when one become Krishna conscious, he transcends the material way of impartialities, how he see everything. So that's what we're going to discuss in this. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Vidya is the knowledge he has. When he fully equipped with the knowledge, he see the Brahmana, Gavi, Hastini, even the Brahmana, cow and elephant, and Suni Cheva Sa Pavakacha. He see the dog, even a dog eater. Pandita Samma Darshana. He's the knowledgeable person, the Pandit, see everyone with the equal vision. The translation: the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. So basically, he's saying when one equipped with the Krishna conscious knowledge, when he become equipped with the knowledge, he see everyone with equal vision. He won't take any discrimination between the animals or humans or animals.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Where does this Pandita word has used in Bhagavad-Gita earlier? Very famous verse. 2:11. Asochanu anvasochastam pragya vadansha bhasate gatasun agatasuncha nanu shoshanti panditaha. So we can connect these words just for our deeper understanding. So what does Pandit refers to? Who is not bewildered by the living or the non-living, as per 2:11. Same Pandit in detail, little more detail is described here. What's the qualification of the Pandit here in this verse? Anyone? The qualification is given in the sense.
Samadarshana.
Okay, that's the result of the qualification.
He is humble.
Yes, what's the word?
Who's got Vidya and Vinaya. So
Vinaya.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. So he has Vidya. Due to Vidya, he has Vinaya. Sampanna means he possesses the the Vidya and the Vinaya. And obviously Vinaya, as I said, Vidya Dadati Vinayam. So Vidya is the one, Gyan is the one. Through the Gyan, he has become Pandita. And what's the result of the Jnana? Now you can say, okay, you have Jnana or you don't have Jnana. How can I tell you? Just by looking at your face or faces, I can't tell someone is a Vidwan or someone is a foolish person. Huh? Chanakya Pandit says, you can only identify a person, a scholarly person or a foolish. A person is only scholarly or a foolish, is unidentifiable unless he starts speaking. That's what Chanakya says. As soon as he starts speaking, you will know. If you are knowledgeable, that's also important. If you are foolish, you will praise foolish. Huh? Prabhupada says a donkey will praise another donkey. But an intelligent person will not get impacted. Once Prabhupada was asked, you have so many disciples, so you must be feeling very great about it. Huh? I have so many disciples going around with me in airport when they go and receive Prabhupada. You know, the hundreds of devotees going when Prabhupada walking like a big celebrity. Huh? So Prabhupada was asked, how do you feel, Swamiji, when you are surrounded by so many disciples? You must be feeling great about it. So Prabhupada said a very humble answer. He said, when a person is praised by 20 asses, he said that, 20 donkeys, it doesn't really matter. Huh? So Prabhupada was not taking these praises as we take the praises. When someone praises, we start thinking, Prabhuji, thoda sa aur, just little more. So sweet to my ears when you praise me. Huh? Only you identify me. Huh? Prabhuji, you are so good. Prabhuji, thoda sa aur, tell me more. Tell me more about myself, not about Krishna. Huh? So this is Panditaha. The result is Samdarshinaha. And what is that? Equal vision. Brahmane. What is the quality of Brahman here? Now we are talking. So we've spoken this line, which is the qualification of this Pandita. The result of the qualification is Samdarshinaha. And what's the analogy given? By which we know, as I said, by seeing the face, we will not know who is knowledgeable or not. But as he behaves, as she behaves, then we will know he's a Pandit or a foolish person. Huh? So what is his behavior? External behavior. Now this is a perception, it's not external, it's a perception of that behavior. What's the perception of behavior? Brahmane gaviharsani suni chai shubhakecha samdarshana. Okay, so what's the hierarchy given here? We spoke about it last week. There's a hierarchy given.
So is that, Prabhu, Brahma and cows are in the mode of goodness? And is that what you're asking?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, you're right. So
elephant is in the mode of passion, and then dog and dog eater in the mode of ignorance. And
so basically, two hierarchies are given, Mataji. So Brahman and dog eater. So Brahman is in the top range of the pyramid, you can say. In humans, you can say. So Brahman is considered the topmost, which is nice. Shapak is, in Hindi, they call it Chandal. So Chandal, one who is a dog eater. So it's not a Shudra. Shudra is number 4. Actually, Shudra is very nice. In the whole hierarchy, if you see, Chandal is, I think, around number 10. And Yavanas and Malekshas, where we reside right now, Australia, so-called developed country, is the Desh of Malekshas and Yavanas. Malekshas, actually. Afghanistan, Pakistan, there's the Yavanas. That's what the Shastra says. So Shapat is the Chandal, number 10. So out of this, the Shastra after 10 does not describe. They say outcast. They don't have like particular category. They say outcast. Anything outside this range is outcast. So it's saying the topmost or the lower of the range given in Shastra, both of them, this person who is a Pandit is seeing the Supreme Lord. I have this picture. I think I still have it. Yeah, here. Everyone has seen this picture. It's very nice. Made by some devotee, I don't know who, but there's a sage here, a sannyasi here who's looking at this Brahman and the Chandal. Both have this Paramatma in their heart. And in the animals three, so I've given one human example, one animal example. Animal, as Mataji was saying, so cow is in mode of goodness, and this is in mode of passion, and the dog is in mode of ignorance. Now, all the animals are known as in mode of ignorance, because it's animal. So how do you say cow is in mode of goodness? So in ignorance, also there are 3 ranges. So in ignorance, so cow is ignorance, goodness. Hathi is ignorance, passion. This is ignorance. Like in humans, Brahman is supposed to be in, like humans are supposed to be in mode of passion. Demigods are supposed to be in mode of goodness. We are generally in mode of passion. So when we say a Brahman is supposed to be in mode of goodness, this is passion, goodness. So within passion range, there are another subdivisions. Now within that, a Brahman, passion, goodness. A Brahman is not always a Brahman, isn't it? In the morning, he may be a Brahman. In the night, he may be angry at some person. So passion, goodness, ignorance. Huh? Bhagavatam, I think in third canto, there's a verse which describes there are 81 divisions of these three gunas, because there's permutations and combinations of that. Okay, let's go back. So this hierarchy shows no matter the person or the animal is in the top range or in the bottom range, this person has this equal vision, which is the result of what? This equal vision is the result of what?
Because of the previous verse, he's fully absorbed.
Fully absorbed. Thank you, Prabhuji. And by fully absorbed, what has happened in the previous verse? Nirbhut kalmasha. His contaminations are gone away. How has his contaminations gone away? What's that one word I'm looking for?
Nishkarma.
Gyan. Simple.
Gyan.
Gyan. Huh? And then Gyan in relation to Lord. How do you achieve? By these four faculties involving in relation to Lord. So that's one word given in 17, given in 18 as well. Vidya. So this word we can remember. So Gyan. Gyan obviously in relation to Lord. When we put that in relation to Lord, eventually we will become Samdarshana. Now, one important point Chaitanya Prabhu said, I'm just sharing. So he said, equal vision does not equate to equal reciprocation. So Prabhuji said nicely, I thought it's a good point to share. So reciprocation means how we receive that person. Now, if you see a cow, for example, you can touch the cow, you can cuddle the cow and all that, you can feed the cow. But if you see a lion, will you do the same thing to the lion? Prabhu, it's the same soul in the lion. Yes, but how do you do that? Now, we are not Nityananda Prabhu, who was traveling in Gangaji once, and he saw a crocodile coming towards the boat on which they were traveling from place A to place B. So Nityananda Prabhu, he is Avadhut, he can do anything. And his way of doing the things is very unique as well. Anyway, so he told this crocodile, chant Haribol, chant Haribol. A crocodile, if we say chant Haribol, he will definitely say Haribol after having us as his breakfast. But Nityananda Prabhu, when he instructed this crocodile to chant Hare Krishna, he did not chant, obviously, Hare Krishna. So he got a little disturbed. Nityananda Prabhu got a little disturbed. He said, why you are not listening? So you know what he did? He jumped into the Ganga. He went to the crocodile, and the people on the boat was crying and shouting, oh, Nityananda, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he went close to the crocodile. He slapped crocodile and said, chant Hare Krishna. Crocodile started chanting Hare Krishna. Now, Nityananda Prabhu can do that. Maybe Krishna can do that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can do that. Can we do this? We can't even slap our, pet dog. We'll be sued in the court. What to speak of slapping any other person? And we should not. So equal reciprocation will not take place and should not take place. So we treat tiger as tiger, we treat a Brahman or a cow as cow. It says in Shastra, when a cow comes to your door, you should feed the cow, you can cuddle the cow, you can bring the cow inside your house. But a dog should never be entertained inside the house. If a dog comes, you can feed the dog, but outside the door. This is the way Shastra has told us. Now you can say, oh, cow's stool is valid, why not my dog's stool? Okay, you can try that. That's not what the Shastra says. So Shastra gives us these guidelines. What will make us better in connection to Krishna? So cow does that help for us, dog doesn't. Although we love dog in the sense, it's also a living entity and we can give him some prasadam, but not inside the house, outside the house. And there are so many other stories of why this is being made like that. Anyway, so we understand the hierarchy, we understand the reciprocation. And one last thing, equal reciprocation, like if a sannyasi comes to our place, or if a devotee friend, grahastha devotee friend, for example, comes, we will treat him respectively, but differently. And that's perfectly equal. A sannyasi should be welcomed with 16 elements. Another person can be welcomed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever possible at that particular time. So this is also an equal vision. So do not think I have to treat everyone equally. No. Vision should be equal. The reciprocation will not be equal. One practical example I can think, which I heard in a class, very nice. He said, if a family of 5 or 10 people visits your house, someone comes to Mohit Prabhu's house, who is a very great cook. So Mohit Prabhu immediately, what Mohit Prabhu will do, he will offer them a seed and a glass of water and all that, and then thank you for coming, nice words. And then what Mohit Prabhu will do next? He'll cook. He's a cook. What can I make? Deva Mataji and all that. Huh? Quickly, they will go into the kitchen and try to prepare something for the guests. So suppose if there's a Budi Mataji, if an old lady comes, can you give a very rich palak paneer sabji, ice creams, and you say, this ice cream is for the kids as well as for that old lady who is 75 plus. Do you think it's good for that lady? And say, Mataji, I have diabetes, I have cholesterol, I have high blood pressure. I can't accept all this. So, Mataji, but I have made this equal vision, equal vision. So actually, by treating people unequally, appropriate unequally, you treat them equally. So for that old lady, what you should give a soup, probably asparagus soup, or some palakka soup, if this exists. I'm not sure. You can make anything. Mohit Prabhu, Deva Mataji can make anything. So whatever. So by treating that old lady appropriately as per her age and taste, you are treating her equally. For the young kids, you give ice creams and heavy food stuffs, and for your youngsters, 20, 30, 40, you give nice dal, chawal, roti, and all those things. So by treating them unequally, appropriately, you are treating them equally. And for that, you need viveka buddhi, discriminatory power, and that you should know. And that's how we become mature. We just not become mature by just verbatim something, by repeating exactly same. No, we need to be mature. And how do we deal with this person? He's my elder by knowledge, by age, by any other post. How do we treat this person? How do we treat our younger ones? How we treat our peers? So that needs maturity. So this verse is not a call for a blind reciprocation with every single living entity. Not like that. You should have a vision of that. Is it okay? It's quite deep verse actually. But anyway, I think it's enough for this class. 519, which is the last.
I can try 519.
Sure, Mataji. I really like when people come forward. I want to do it.
So in the last verse, we did how they're able to see everyone equal because they're given with the knowledge of those 4 aspects that we did: intelligence, mind, faith, and shelter. So if a person has that, they're given that vision. So Shastras clearly say that there's a connection between consciousness and mind. And then Prabhu talked about if they are situated in equanimity, in this life, certainly they can conquer sarga, which is life and death, in the first line that we did. And then in the third line, it talks about nirdosham. So dosham is flaw and nirdosham is flawless. So pure so nirdosham, he's samam brahma. The pure devotees also don't do any mistakes like Krishna. If one comes to the state of nirdosham, their minds are situated in equanimity, thus they are already situated in Brahman. And then Prabhupada also says in the purport that the Lord is flawless because he is without attraction or hatred. And similarly, when a living entity is without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice. We'll just take a few more words quickly. Ihave. Ihave refers to this one. So when you will become all that, not after life and after 10 million lives, here, right now, in this life. Prabhupada says, Iha, in this life. Eva, certainly, if you have equal vision, which we read in the previous verse, Jitaha Sargo, Sargo as Prabhupada writes here, birth and death. Atta Sarga Visargascha, so there's 10 lakshans, 10 characteristics of Srimad Bhagavatam, I think it's 2.1.10. So there it's explained, Sarga Visarga. So Sarga here refers to birth and death. So you will win over birth and death when in this life. This is very, very important, very, very important, because many organizations say after death you will merge or this and that. No, right now in this life it will happen. Kesham Samya Stamna. So whose mind is Samya Manaha, equal vision. If you have equal vision, what will be the result of that equal vision? So we are seeing a series of verses. So if this happens, this will be the result. If that happens, that will be the result. So if you are Samya Siddha, you have equal vision, you will be able to win over the cycle of birth and death. Very, very beautiful line. And Nirdosham, as Mataji was saying, flawless. What does flawless actually mean? This person doesn't make any mistake. So there are two definitions of Nirdosha. We can look into it. So one is the technical definition. Technical definition means dosha. Dosha does not just refers to the flaw, faults, which we all have. We are all dosha, but it also refers to the guna, to the modes. So nirdosha also refers to one who is above the modes. This is very important for us to understand, because otherwise we will start seeing the faults even in the great devotees. Now, many Prabhupada disciples, and it's been explained by other God brothers and God sisters who were serving Prabhupada very nicely, but after a while, because they were serving too closely to Prabhupada, they saw some apparent flaws in Prabhupada, and they left the service of Prabhupada. They left the service of Prabhupada. Once Prabhupada was walking on a beach, and I think he saw some sort of fish. I don't know which one, but anyway, I think he said jellyfish or something. So one of his disciples said to Prabhupada, this is not jellyfish, it is something else. Whatever else he said, can't remember. Prabhupada said, all right, whatever it is, but that's the point. So later on in another conversation, he was asked, Prabhupada, does spiritual master make any mistake? So Prabhupada says, no, spiritual master does not make any mistake. Then they said, but Prabhupada, we see sometimes spiritual master forgetting the words, spiritual masters say something which is not the correct word, this and that. So we see spiritual master is also not perfect. So Prabhupada immediately turned back and said, your definition of perfection is imperfect. Your definition of perfection is imperfect. You think just by saying, if I know all the names of all the fishes, I will become a very big spiritual person. But that's not the definition of a spiritual person. Nowhere it says in Shastra, you should know all the fishes and all the trees and all the plants and this and that. If we see sometimes spiritual master giving class or a sannyasi giving class, and they may forget a word, so they may say one or two words here and there. Does that mean they are less spiritualized? No. So is our mundane vision to see that a spiritual master with that definition that this person should be perfect, like we see in a Hindi movie, when a hero comes and 50 gundas are there, this one person, maybe without a gun, will shoot all the person with had all the guns. Completely crazy things they show. And we believe and we laugh and we say, oh, this hero is fantastic. Look at his muscles, this and that. None of the 100 people could target this one person. And even if he doesn't even look at them, he just goes at the back and he shoots. Many times we see these scenes in Hindi movie or English movie. How does it work? So we have a very wrong definition of being perfect. Very wrong definition. So what is the real definition? This person is above the modes of material nature. He is not impacted by the modes of material nature. Now, how he says a word in English or in Bengali or in another language, that's not the definition. How he walks and how he dresses and how he talks to how he shakes his hand, we have this set definitions of celebrity in our mind. That's not what the definition of the spiritualist is. So he is nirdosha in a true sense. So we should understand that, and that's how we should aspire to become nirdosha. So if he is Sama Brahma, so he's like Brahma. He's like, so Brahma is faultless, as Prabhupada writes. Lord is flawless. He is without attraction or hatred. Similarly, when a living tree without attraction or hatred, he also becomes flawless and eligible to enter into the spiritual sky. Okay, let's start next verses. 520. Thank you, Divya Mataji. That was nice. Okay, who will do 520? Who hasn't done as yet? Okay, Vinay Prabhu raised his hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
No purishet priya prapya.
Na praheshyet priyam prapya.
No uddijet prapya cha apriyam.
No dijet prapya cha apriyam.
Thira buddhi asammura.
Isthir buddhir asammudha.
Brahmavida Brahmani Sthitaha.
Brahmavid Brahmani Sthitaha.
A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So again, this is a clear relation between 519 and 520. So it's saying Tasmat, therefore Brahmani Tesa. So he is situated in Brahman, right? That's what it says. Now, similar verse is saying Brahmavid Brahmani Isthitaha. So he is situated in Brahman. So what are the other characteristics of this person? Let's start from the first one. Prahashyet. So harsha, everyone knows harsha, becoming happy. Praharsha refers to very happy, prakarshena, happy. So sometimes we achieve something in life, some gross objects or some subtle objects. Gross means I get a new car, I get a new house, whatever, new laptop, a new mobile. There's some gross things. Subtle objects means I achieve some victory. You may remember when some team, I think World Cup is going on. Asim Prabhu told me yesterday, I didn't know about it. I said IPL, I just guessed it, but he said it's World Cup. I said, okay. So World Cup is going on. I'm not sure at what stage is going on. Is it today is the final or something? Anyone knows? I'm sure no one will say because they will show, I don't know anything. That's okay. I really don't know. Suppose today is the final day and the
Final is next one, bro.
Someone is saying something.
Final is next one, bro.
Next one. Oh, really?
I think.
Huh?
Not even started.
Not even started. Oh, Jai Ho. Good. Anyway, hypothetically, if today is the final India-Pakistan match, for example, I know only two teams. Anyway, I know a few more teams. Anyway, so India-Pakistan match. Suppose India wins the cup tonight after 2 hours or something. Will you be happy? I will be honest, right? I'll be happy. Imagine we just being a citizen and we identify ourselves with, say, India, for example. Imagine if you were there to receive the World Cup. Will you be happy? Be honest. You are receiving the World Cup, which has happened, I think, after 8 years or something. I'm not sure. I think last one wasn't played. Maybe yes, I don't know. Anyway, so if we just identify ourselves with a little land called India and then we become happy because our so-called team has won the World Cup. Imagine if you would have received the cup in your hand. You will be super happy. And you would see, the tennis champions or the cricket champions, when they get the cup, yay, they go like that, with both arms. They become super happy, and some they kneel on the ground and then they shout and they open the bottle. This is called praharshena. Praharshena means supremely happy, because internally they feel, I am the best. I am the best. I'm sure you would have all seen those images of movie stars or cricket stars or other celebrities. So we become very priya, we become very harshit, we become very joyful when we get these objects, external or internal. Prapya. Prapya refers to when we receive that. And when we receive apriya, then what happens to us? When something happens in our life which we never planned, which we never expected from the life. Radhanath Maharaj said very nicely, when the calamities come, they do not give us the option. Like we always want the lowest option, isn't it? When there's suppose 4 calamities, option A is calamity A, which is severe. Calamity B is severe square. Calamity 3 is severe cube. And calamity 4 is severe to the power 16. Which one you will choose? Be honest. A, B, C, or D. The severity is increasing. Sumit Prabhu said D. He's a devotee.
No, Prabhu, I said option 1.
Oh, I thought you said 4. Anyone for 4? Now, Kunti Maharani is for 4. That's a different scenario. We are it. The first thing we'll say to the calamity, can we not have option E, none of the above? I would love to have E, but Radhanath Maharaj said, it doesn't work that way. You would expect out of these 4, we will get 1, but which one you get usually? Be honest. D.
D.
The worst one. Why this one? Why now? And why me? These three questions we have. Why me? Why now? Why this one? Even if the calamity would have come, it would have come later after 10 years, 20 years. It would have come to my neighbor. Why this one, not the other one? Huh? So we all have this mindset. So when the apriya comes, when some unfavorable situation come in our life, we become very distressed internally. We may not show to others, but internally we do get distressed. But this person who has sama vision, equal vision, is saying the word na prahashet priyam prapya, no udvijed prapya apriyam. So he does not get distressed when the apriya happens, when unfavorable happens, and he does not become super happy when priya happens. So he is isthir buddhir. Isthir buddhir means he is very steady in his intelligence, very, very steady. So do you think our intelligence is steady or unsteady? Steady or unsteady? Huh? Jamati Mataji, definitely.
Unsteady.
Unsteady? Pakka? We're all in that category, huh?
Very unsteady.
Very unsteady. Super honest devotees, huh? Very humble. So we are not in this category. Why we are not in this category? Because we don't have that mindset, mature mindset as yet. We are progressing towards it. We may have little bit of it. One story I heard very nicely, some person was distributing books in one of the cities in India. Anyway, some rogues came and he was disturbing, and he was a big bodybuilder, big person. So he got upset. He was distributing the books, and he took the collar of this person. He just had this hand next to his, cheek. He was just about to slap, and he was a big guy. So this guy got scared. His collar was getting held by this devotee, and he said, "But you are a devotee. How can you be angry?" He said, "Because I'm a devotee, I'm still holding my hand. 3 years ago, if you would have done that, your head would be down on the floor by now." So I have progressed. I have progressed. So we are progressing a little bit. We are able to do some better than before. Radhanath Maharaj again says very nicely, when any impetus comes, good or bad, whatever, our reaction time at the moment is 0 seconds. Immediately we react. Huh? Anyone says something, the immediate the reaction is. So Maharaj, you should increase it to 1 second. Just wait 1 second, then you react. Then Maharaj said, do it to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Just wait, don't do anything. Just wait for 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see many thoughts, many actions will calm down. And this is, you have to increase this gap. You have to, and one day you will be like, no problem. You insulted me, no problem. You praised me, no problem. You made some sarcastic comments, no problem. So they are the sannyasis. But the point here is our reaction time should increase, not decrease. Many times you see, after coming to Krishna consciousness, the reaction time decreases. People become very angry actually. Baat pe gussa. Every time you're like a touch, and the Jwalamukhi is there, the volcano is just there. That shows their frustrated hearts because of performing devotional service in a wrong mood. If a devotee is getting frustrated or angry again and again, that shows his frustrated heart, because he's not performing devotional service with the right attitude, with the right mood, and that has to be corrected. That may mean a little break. Sometimes breaks are not bad. Some people went on holidays recently, was telling me, coming back happy, which is nice. We all need some breaks. But we all need Krishna conscious breaks, not un-Krishna conscious breaks. So isthir buddhi. So this person is isthir buddhi, asamudha. So mudha refers to mudha. Mudha means, Prabhupada used this word mudha, fools and rascals, Prabhupada said. Asamudha, he's not bewildered. He's not bewildered. So this person is Brahmavid. Vid means, what does word vid mean? Anyone? Vid. Ved.
Knowledgeable person.
Knowledgeable.
Vid is to know. So Ved or Vid is the same dhatu in Sanskrit, means to know. And he is the knower of Brahma. He is the knower of Supreme. So Brahmavid. This is a knowledge of Gyan-vid, Ved-vid. We have word Vedvati. In Ramayana, we read that word. So Brahmavid, he is the knower of Brahman. He is the knower of Supreme, and he is situated in Brahma. So what's the definition of being situated in Brahma? He is isthir buddhi. And what's the definition of isthir buddhi? Steady intelligence. 2 definitions. We do not become overjoyed when a favorable situation comes, and we do not get depressed in the heart when the unfavorable come. Very difficult. You can say it, but in a moment it changes. When you go to a class, many times, I'm sure all of you have experienced in the class, you feel so good and calm and all the instructions look so good. But as soon as you come home, something happens, or even on the way, immediately you get upset. Immediately you get upset. Huh? You may not express it, which is also nice. Physically, you may not show your anger, but your mind do get upset, isn't it? You get angry. Why this person is doing this way? Why he's so crazy? Now, he may not be crazy, but we may think he's crazy, but we do get upset. Huh? So that's not the definition of this Sthir Buddha, and that's why we're not situated on a transcendental platform. Okay, let's move forward. Manmohan Prabhuji, would you like to do this?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bahya sparsheva akastatma.
Bahya sparshesva asaktatma.
Vindatyatmani yat sukham.
Vindati atmani yat sukham.
Sa brahma yoga yuktatma.
Sa brahma yoga yuktatma.
Sukham akshayam ashnute.
Sukham akshayam ashnute.
Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme.
Yeah, it's a very nice verse. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a very nice verse. Again, we are moving forward. So if I take 520. So this person who is Brahmani is situated in the transcendental platform, right? So how does he feel inside? So, okay, he's not overjoyed. When the Priya comes, when the Apriya comes, he's not Udvigna, he's not distressed. So how does he feel inside his heart? That's been explained in 521. Huh? So Vahya Sparshe, so Asaktatma. So there's a word called Asakta and there's a word called Asakta. Anyone knows the difference? Asakta and Asakta? Very simple. My Prabhu is smiling, ready to say. Asakta means attached and Asakta means not attached. Simple, huh? So Asakta, we have heard this word meaning Asakta. Dasharatha Maharaj was Asakta in Kaikai, for example, or Yayati Maharaj. So Asakta, attached, and Asakta means unattached. So this person is unattached to Vahya Sparshe. Sparsha refers to touch. Now, when we talk about touch, we think about touching ice or a fire or something like that. But touch is not only with the skin, touch is also with the eyes. Isn't it? When we see some image, they produce some sort of reaction in our mind, good or bad. We see something, we get angry, or we become, oh, that's nice. We hear some nice music, so-called nice music. We become happy. We have some nice pizzas or burgers and whatnot, nice kheer, Purnima kheer. We touch that kheer with our tongue. So this is called sparsha. So sparsha is not just with the skin. So we have 5 Gyanendriyas. So any one of the Gyanendriya, when it touches the outer object, we react. Now this person is asaktatma. Asaktatma refers to unattached to Vahya Sparsh. Vahya refers to the external objects. When he get in touch with, he is asakta. He is completely unattached. What's our situation at the moment? We are only attached to the outside objects. When the good comes, we become happy. When we touch something nice, or we eat something nice, we hear something nice, we become happy. When we hear, touch, or feel something bad, we feel bad. So we are Vahya Sparsha Asaktatma. We can say that we are attached to it. Our happiness, our internal happiness or distress depends on our touch or our contact, you can say. But this person is asakta, he's unattached. So where does his happiness come from? Everyone wants to be happy. Where does this person gets his happiness from? Vindati Atmani. Atmani refers to the inner happiness. Vindati refers to enjoy. So he enjoys Atmani in the self. That's what Prabhupada writes here. So he is not dependent on our external. So we usually, when we are dependent on our external, how great we look, when we go out 10 times, we look our face in the mirror, sab kuch theek hai ki nahi hai. There's no hair coming here or there. That's why, when you have no hair, sometimes it really helps. Anyway, having hair, not having hair is not the definition of spirituality, but one aspect of it. My Guru Maharaj says, keeps the things simple. Simplicity is very much helpful in spirituality. So it gives us more time. Maharaj said, if you have 7 bills to pay on your table every day, it becomes a little difficult. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. So Vindati Atmani yat sukham. So where does he get the sukha from, happiness from? Where does he derive the happiness from? Atmani, from the inner self. He turns inward. Sa Brahma Yoga. And inwards, what is he doing? Brahma Yoga. Now, is the Brahma Yoga is like another yoga, like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga? We never heard about Brahma Yoga. There are Brahma Kumaris outside. Not sure whether they do yoga or not, but what does Brahma Yoga mean here? So don't take just a blind translation, just get the word. So Brahma Yoga refers to connection. So this is the Sa, that person is Brahma, connected with the Brahma, connected with the Supreme. Yuktatma, he is well connected with the Supreme. And then what's the result of it? Sukham Akshayam. So we have Akshay Navami coming. So next Tuesday, if you don't know, not 18, the one later. I think 2nd of November, if I'm not wrong. Akshay Navami is anything you do on that day, 2nd of November, you can make a note. You can do a lot of service, a lot of chanting, reading, donation to Krishna, and all those things related to Krishna. So Akshay means no chay is never going to extinguish from your spiritual account. So Akshay Sukham, we are all looking for Akshay Sukha. Anyone who want Pratihat Sukha, Pratihata Sukha means broken Sukha. So I only want Sukha 9 to 12 p.m. 12 p.m. in the morning, then 3 to 6 p.m. in the night. And then from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. you can give me Dukha. Anyone likes that roster? I don't want it. Akhanda Sal is straight away. No, we all want Akshay Sukha. Akshay means 24/7 we want to be in the Sukha. And we all have our definitions of Sukha. We'll not take into consideration. Let's take the Shastric definition. How can you achieve this Akshay Sukha? Ashnute. Ashnute refers to, anyone knows this word being used in Bhagavad-Gita elsewhere? Very famous verse. Ashnami Prayatatmanaha. Which is that verse? Ashnami. Ashnami means khana. So with Prabhu, khana. Khane ka time ho gaya. Everyone is hungry. I'm sure you're all Kartik devotees, taking one meal a day. Devotees would have already taken. Anyway, so Ashnami refers to khana, accept, enjoys, when we have nice food. Ashnami Pratatmana, 926. So this person is receiving Akshay Sukha, unlimited happiness. How is he receiving? By doing two things. He's turning inwards, Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham. He's turning inwards to receive the happiness. So it's clearly shown by this verse. If you are seeking happiness from external positions, you will never be happy. Or your happiness will be a broken happiness. You get a nice car, a nice Mercedes, Benz or whatever. First week, you will be so happy. Just last week, one boy, I think he's probably 30 or something, 27, 28, something like that. He was telling me he bought a car probably a year ago. He was super happy. He showed me the car first day. He came and showed me the car. I was like, wow, very nice. I think it was what, $40,000-$50,000 car, big car. He's a young boy, very happy. And he himself was telling me honestly, last week, only last week, Prabhu, I got the car. I was super happy only for 1 week. And then after that week, what happens? The car became just a vehicle, another vehicle. It wasn't like the dream car. He spent literally probably 6 to 8 months to find the car and to book the car, to get the car. He drove probably 600 kilometers to get the car. Finally, he got the car. He was happy, no doubt, but happiness only lasted. That super extreme excitement lasted only for 1 week. So if you are looking happiness outside, you'll always get broken happiness. What Bhagavatam says, 126, ahetuki apratihata. Devotional service should be performed apratihata, unbroken. But what we do, pratihata, we do devotional service. All of us do pratihata, broken devotional service we do. But this person is the actual receiver of that Akshay Sukha. Why? Two things. He is turning inwards. What is he doing inwards? Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. He's attaching himself with the Supreme. And when he turns inwards, he receives Akshay Sukha. And what he has stopped outside, Vahe Sparsa Asattatma. So when you get sick, doctor tell two things. At least Indian doctors, I'm not sure in Western world, it doesn't exist. When you get fever in India, what do they say? Don't eat ice cream, don't eat dahi, don't eat thanda, this and that. In India, they tell, here they don't. And eat your medication, right? don't eat pakoda and chila and all that for next 7 days or something. So some prohibitions are there and some recommendations are there. So we have to do both. Suppose if I keep taking ice cream in my fever, what will happen? Manmohan Prabhuji is a doctor, he will know more. I don't know much. Probably my disease will be there for longer time, isn't it? Because I'm still taking what is being prohibited by doctor. So I'm taking medication, but I'm still taking the other nonsense items, which will stop me to become healthy. So this person, what he has done is stop those things. Why is person? Asaktatma. Anything outer comes, very good comes, very bad comes. In both situations, asaktatma, he's unattached. He's unattached. He's isthir buddhir. That's for the outer world. Then what he does inwards, and inwards is not meditating on a light. What he's doing inwards, he's connecting himself with the Supreme, and then he receives unlimited happiness. Unlimited happiness. Now, before I answer the question, just 1 second. Prabhupada in his purport has written this beautiful verse, which he has quoted many times, and it's very, very nice. This verse given by Yamunacharya. We'll just read the translation of the verse with respect to the time. Anyone would like to read? That's just a translation.
Since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing every new pleasure in him, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought and my lips curl with disdain.
So this is the realization of Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya was one of the guru of Sri Ramanujacharya. So what he is basically saying, once you get attached to Krishna, you don't need any worldly pleasures. Prabhupada says the highest pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and a materialistic cannot work at all without this motivation. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with greater vigor without sex pleasure, which he avoids. That is the test in spiritual realization. So Prabhupada is saying the biggest motivation of this world doesn't fit in the spiritual definition. And people who are fully motivated by their desire outside, devotees have no desire at all. And Ramanacharya says, I spit at that thought and my lips curl in distaste. So that clearly proves we all are looking for taste and happiness, but where our happiness and taste is realizing, if it's realizing on some external factors, we'll get frustrated after some time. We'll get disappointed after some time. But if you have your vision and your mind and your nishtha and parayanta in Krishna, then you realize ever new pleasure in him all the time. There's no need for so many outside objects. Okay, now I saw a hand. Rasanan Prabhuji or Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, it's been answered. I was thinking about the external pressure and the internal pressure.
Yeah.
Like, so internal is when you connect yourself to the super soul within yourself.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So when you perform a seva, you think about Krishna, you chant Krishna's name, you hear Krishna's name, or you perform any seva, which is given by your senior Vaishnavas or a special master, then you feel an inner pleasure. And we all feel the glimpse sometime we all feel that glimpse. Sometimes we hear a nice kirtan. Yesterday we went for a program, Bachu Prabhu was singing very nicely. It was so nice just to sit and hear. Nothing we have to do, just sit and hear. It was so nice. And we feel it all the time, but obviously at the moment, we just get little glimpse. But for example, a sannyasi is living in that platform all the time. And that's why you can't tempt them with any other, little things. Where we get tempted, where we get usually tempted. Oh, this looks nice. Sannyasi is like, all right, so what? So they have so much, you have like, Prabhupada said one example, if you have, say 1,000 rupee note in India, not in Australia. So that 1,000 rupee note already includes this 1 rupee note. Already includes 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee. You don't need this small chiller. You have such a big note. You have Krishna. So what's the need of all these things? It just happens, but naturally one day. Okay, let's move to the next one.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I can do the next one.
Oh, please, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. That was quick. I thought it was a question. Please, Prabhuji. This is one of the very famous and very nice verse.
5:22. Yehi sansparcha bhoga dukkha yona evate. Dukkha yonaya evate.
Dukkha yonaya evate.
Adi antavanta kaunteya.
Adi antavanta kaunteya.
Na teshu ramate buddha.
Na teshu ramte buddhaha.
Translation: an intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. So the wise man does not delight in them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this is very nice. So now again related back to the previous verse. So this thread is very nice. So in this one thing we read in the very first line, Vahya Sparsheshva Asaktatma. So this person is sort of not seeking any pleasure in external context. Prabhupada says this person is not attracted to material sense pleasure. Now 522 explains why he is not attracted to the sense pleasure, why he is asaktatma, why he is unattached to the external stimuli. Why? Because he is very wise. Let's see why he is wise. So it says, Ramte Buddha. Buddha refers to very wise person. Anyone remembers another verse in Bhagavad-Gita where the word Buddha is used? Everyone knows this. As soon as I'll say, you will jump onto it.
Buddha Bhagavad-Gita.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Buddha Bhavas 10.8. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravritte iti matva bhajante mam Buddha Bhava Samannita. Buddha means very wise person. Bhagavatam also has this word. So this person is Buddha, Buddhiman. In Hindi, there's a word Buddhiman. Or there's a Buddhu. Everyone knows Buddhu, who has no intelligence. Buddhiman or Buddhu, opposite word. Buddhu for Vijay Gopi, Mataji and Rasanand Prabhu is foolish. In Hindi, it's called Buddhu. I'm not sure what you call in Tamil. So Buddhiman means very intelligent. Buddhu means very foolish. So this person is very not Buddha, not Buddhu, Buddhiman, very Buddhiman. Why he is Buddhiman? Let's see why. Yehi, that person, samsparsha bhoga. Samsparsha again coming to from the previous verse. Samsparsha means coming in contact. Bhoga refers to any bhog. What does bhog mean? Anyone else? Can you translate the word bhog? We all use this word probably 3 or 5 times a day.
Unoffered.
Unoffered thing, right? Unoffered thing is very, very important. Unoffered. There's a word in Sanskrit called naivedya. What's the difference between bhog and naivedya? Naivedya is something which is offerable. Bhog may be unofferable. Technically speaking, anything which is unoffered is bhoga, right? Anything, technically speaking, it's not offered as yet. That's called bhog and prasad, unoffered. Now, many prohibited items are also unoffered, right? But they are not naivedya. Naivedya is something which is offerable to the Lord. Very nice words in Sanskrit we have. So, bhoga, anything in Hindi, they call it vishay. Vishay word comes from vish. Vish means poison. So, it's like a poison. So, vishay or vish or vishay, they are similar words. So, bhoga. So what does bhoga refers to? What does bhoga gives us? Dukkha yonaya evate. So bhoga, if you do some bhoga, which was not good for you, told by our acharyas, Nityananda Das Thakur sings, Janiya Shuniya Vishukhaina. So scriptures were telling me, Vaishnavas were telling me, don't do that, but I still did that. Now Nityananda Das Thakur is not doing it, but he's representing us. Many times we all feel that. We know this is not good for our spiritual life, but we all do it. And then we say, oh, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have done this or that. So this is called this bhoga, because when we do bhoga, we become bhogi. And eventually by doing bhogi, what we become? We become rogi. So it says India is called Yoga Bhumi. Western world is called Rog Bhumi. So the responsibility of Yoga Bhumi people is to teach to Rog Bhumi people. And what they are teaching? No, Bhog Bhumi. Bhog Bhumi is what? Western world is called Bhog Bhumi. India is called Yoga Bhumi. So the responsibility of Yoga Bhumi people is to teach to Rog Bhumi people this science of yoga. So did I say 3 world or 2 world? Yoga, bhoga, before it becomes roga. Thank you, Vijay Gopi Mataji. So Roga, your son is a doctor, so I remember from him. Thank you. Roga, disease. So if we keep doing bhoga, we will become roga. So before we get inside roga, we should do yoga. Radhesham Prabhu says that. So I was trying to remember his lines. Very nice. So we should not do bhoga, because what bhoga will lead to dukkha. Not only dukkha, it says yona. Yona refers to womb. So not only it will lead to dukkha, it will lead to the series of dukkha, womb of misery. This is what is called womb of misery, means where the delivery is unavoidable. Suppose a lady is pregnant, initially you will not know. But later on, as the pregnancy increases, then you will know. And later on, here in the human world, the abortions are possible, but it says if you have performed a wrong karma, the delivery of the reaction of that wrong karma is unavoidable. Abortion is not possible. Abortion is not possible there, because you have performed it. It is going to come back. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Even the science says that. So this says dukkha yonai evate. So if you do bhoga, what sort of bhoga? Not internal, external, sansparsha. You are having contact with some external objects. You're doing bhoga of that. What it will lead to? It will lead to the misery. And how do you identify that? Adi anta vantaha. So they have all these bhogas have a adi and an anta. You go to a Hindi movie or an English movie, the movie starts at 1 o'clock show. Goes till what time? 3:30 or 4 o'clock, whatever, 2.5 hour movie or 3 hour movie, right? So it has a adi, it has an anta. You start eating a pizza. I love pizza. Thank you for making me pizza. There's an adi. You start at 0 pizza. How many pizzas you will consume? Okay, 1 goes in, 2 goes in, 3 goes in. After 4 and 5, what will happen? Thank you so much. Chaitanya Prabhu says you give them 1 serving. Thank you. You give them 2nd serving. Aap bhi lijiye. You also take some. 3rd serving. I think I'm all okay. 5th serving, 6th serving. After 6, no, you just can't take anymore. But Prabhu, you love pizza. There's always going to be a beginning and an end. You buy a car, you buy a house, there will be a beginning, there will be an end. For this body, there is always a DOB. Everyone knows their DOB. I hope they know. Do you know your DOE, date of expiry? You don't know. It doesn't mean it's not there in the books. It's there in the books of Yamaraj, Brahmaji, and maybe many demigods. So we don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we all have Adi, we'll have Anta. That's why we should not get super attached unless the person is a devotee. So all these bhogas, Chaitanya Prabhu gave a very nice analogy. He says, why we should not go after these bhogas? Because first thing he says, they are unattainable. Unattainable means you go out in the world, suppose you watch a movie, the hero is enjoying, nice bungalows and nice cars and so many nice females around him. And you're like, I wish I was in place of this hero. I heard this in some lecture. Michael Jackson was shown the Krishna book. In the Krishna book on the top, we have Radharani and Krishna. Krishna is playing the flute. So Michael Jackson actually touched the book and he said, looks nice. Just instead of this guy, I should be there. So Michael Jackson said, instead of Krishna, just put my face. So what this guy had in his mind to enjoy Srimati Radharani without Krishna. Who else has done in the past? Ravan. Wanted to enjoy Mother Sita without Lord Ram. So we have this mentality in general. In general, we have this mentality. We want to enjoy the energy of the Lord without the Lord. So Prabhu said, these bhogas, we just want to enjoy. But how many are enjoying like Akshay Kumar or Salman Khan or whatever it is? How many? So first, they are unattainable. But imagine Salman Khan becomes your best friend and say, Prabhuji, all my bhoga is yours from today. Now, he will not say, I'm sure about it, but suppose he says that. So unattainable becomes attainable. Suppose you have dreamt for some car or house or a person, you got it. Once you got it, what happens after that? It says they are unpalatable. It doesn't taste as good as you expected. You aspire for a gulab jamun and you got the gulab jamun, but that gulab jamun is not the same which you wanted, isn't it? You go in someone's house and with the gulab jamun, you ask them for a hatoda as well, for a hammer. Mataji, can I have one hammer as well? So that's not the gulab jamun which I wanted. So first they are unattainable. And even if you receive it, and you see many times in life, you achieve something, it looks so nice, it looks so attractive. As soon as you have it after 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 years, you ask them, You're still happy? Nahi chahiye. I shouldn't have taken it actually. Yeah, many times the response is like that, many times. So what they show in the Bollywood or Hollywood movie is not the reality. So they are unattainable. Even if you attain them, they are unpalatable. And even suppose the Rasgulla was nice, Gulab Jamun was nice, they are unretainable. You cannot retain them forever. You cannot retain them forever because they will go. Either you will have enough servings of Rasgulla and they will say, enough is enough. Now I need a Hajmola or please. So they are unretainable. Or the pleasures will leave you or you will leave the pleasure. Pleasure will leave you means someone else will take the wealth away. Someone else will take the love which you want. Someone else will take the thing which you want, or you will die and leave the pleasures behind. It happens all the time, all the time. Many people, many parents have this expectation from their kid, but the kid comes in the house. And last week, Ghanshyam Prabhu was explaining 4 types of kids. Anyone remembers 4 types of kids? Oh, Prabhu? Anyone? Vinay Prabhu is smiling. He's the 4th one, I'm sure. Suputra. So Ghanshyam Prabhu explained 4 types of kids. So first type of kid, a soul can become your kid. Maybe your enemy will take birth in your family. That can be one type. Or if you have borrowed money from someone, you have not repaid the money. So that son or daughter will come and enjoy all your money and you cannot do anything. And the third one was he's just completely neutral personality. He is very asakta. He doesn't have any emotional action. You want to hug the boy or the girl, they don't come to you. Like I'm not, they just don't have that emotional attachment with the parents or with other siblings. And the 4th one, Prabhuji said, he's Suputra or Suputri. He's an eligible son. So Putra means one who delivers the parents, the father from Puta, from the hell called Puta. That's called Putra. Otherwise, Bhagavatam says he's a Mutra, he's a urine. If you're not a Putra, you are a Mutra. If you are not a Putra means Suputra, you are eligible son. Either you are eligible son or you are as good as urine. Because it says both comes from the same place. So Bhagavatam says that, don't complain to me. Putra or Mutra. So these pleasures have a adi, have a ant. So this intelligent person is not after them because they are unattainable. If they are attainable, they are unpalatable. If they are palatable, they are unretainable. And he says, I don't need all this. Whatever comes on its own account, he accepts it. If Radharani wants me to fast today, I'll fast. If Radharani gives me a feast today, I'll enjoy the feast. Appropriately, as per your diabetes and cholesterol situation. And then that's how I will go on in my life. I will not hanker for, I must need kheer today. Ravan said, I must need Sita. So many people said, don't even think about Sita. Ravan said, nahi, chahiye hi chahiye. I really want it, no matter what. What happened to Ravan? Hiranyakashipu wanted to control Prahlad. What happened to Hiranyakashipu? So many examples in Shastra. So they are not called Buddhas. But the Buddha people is Sansparsha Bhoga, any Bhoga from outside, which he is able to touch. He has a starting and end. He is not too much worried about it. If it comes, okay. If it doesn't come, it's all right. Okay. Next one is 523. Who hasn't done as yet? Okay, Sumit Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shaknoti have yah sodhum.
Shaknoti have yah sodhum.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kama krodhodbhavam vegam.
Kama krodhodbhavam vegam.
Sayukta sasukhi nara.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha.
Translation: before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll just take a relation between 522. So the first line said, Yehi sansparsha bhoga dukh yona evta. So this person does not enjoy the pleasure of the body. How does he do that? Does he not get any desire in his heart? So Bhagavad-Gita verse saying 523, no, he does. He does. So he says, Kam krodod bhavam vegam. So this vegas will come. Now in the previous verse, actually 521, one important word in this verse made by Yamunacharya. So since I've been engaged, blah, blah. So if I think, I spit at the thought. So Yamunacharya is saying one very important, which you usually ignore this word, I spit at the thought. So Yamunacharya is saying, I also get the thought. What he does, that's a second thing. But now we entertain the thoughts. We entertain. Chaitanya Prabhu said the definition of entertain with whatever enters into the mind, we retain. Whatever enters, we retain. That's called entertain. Very nice definition. But in a sannyasi's mind or in an advanced Vaishnava's mind, things will enter, but he will not retain. He will exit them out. If a salesman knocks to your door, loan le lo, loan le lo, loan le lo. People call these days, credit card le lo. They will sell your credit card. They will sell whatever. So many things they sell, and you say, "Nahi chahiye, I don't want it." You put the phone down. You close your door. If you don't want it, what you'll do? You'll close your door. You'll shut it down. So sannyasi or advanced specialist doesn't want all these. He will say, "Get out." But what we do, actually, it looks nice. It's on sale. Ek ke saath ek free. Please come inside. Tell me, what's your product? What are you selling? In India, you got so many salespeople. They'll come in bicycle. They will have nice chadar, Kashmiri shawl. They will have some masalas. So many things. Okay, come in. Very cheap, very nice product. They will sell you honey straight from the honeycomb, beecomb. I got some honey. I still remember probably 30 years ago or something in India. So this guy had some madhumakhi as well in the honey. And as soon as he left, we thought we got the best honey in the best price. We put the honey aside, and after a week or two, it had all the crystal of sugar. So he made us fool. It happens all the time. It looks very attractive. All these temptations looks very attractive. But as soon as you act on them, you get bound. So Yamunacharya is saying, I spit at the thoughts. So important thing is thoughts will come. So Krishna is saying in 5:23, the thoughts will come, the urges, the vegas will come, the desire may come inside from external stimuli or internal stimuli. That doesn't matter. It will come. How you react on it. So what should be your reaction? Shaknoti. Shaknoti refers to you should be able to do. What you should be able to do? Sodhum. Sodhum refers to tolerate. So what you should be able to do? Tolerate the urges. Urge will come. All of a sudden you will get calm, you'll get some lusty desire, some temptation you will get for a small thing or a big thing, some krodha, you will get immediately upset. This sort of comes. Vega. Vega means cannot be stopped. Veg means Vegwan. You drive the car with Veg. Veg means super speed. So krodha comes slowly or super speed. We all experience super speed. In a flick of a moment you'll get krodha. Arey, how come? Immediately you'll get upset. And it says the first thing you should do, you should not speak. No matter how much urge is coming, I have to tell this person, how wrong you are, how bad you have done. Shut your mouth. Everyone is smiling. Easy to say than to do. So I'm also saying, I also have the same struggles. But anyway, by saying one day, I may remember one, as Radhanath Maharaj said, increase to 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Anyway, good to meditate on these points at least, and slowly application will come. So calm and krodha, udbhav refers to originates. This vega originates in your personality. Just all of a sudden, you don't plan to become angry, but you see something, you hear something, become angry. So what you should do? Shaknoti hai ya sodhum, you should tolerate. Okay, I will tolerate. Today is a public holiday, Queen's Disappearance Day. I got a public holiday, so today I will tolerate. But I will start tomorrow again. As I start my job, I will start calm krodha again tomorrow. Is that right? So it's saying you should tolerate them all the time. Arey, bhai, but till what time? 2022, 2023, 2024. Prak sharir vimokshana. Till the time you leave the body. Correct? Till the time you leave the body, you have to tolerate. Example given in Shastra, I think in Ramayana is given. Till how long this calm and krodha will attack you and all the anarthas will attack you? Till the time you have the body. And the example given is your hair. How long your hair will grow? How long your nails will grow? You keep cutting your nail, you keep cutting your hair. Similarly, you have to cut your urges of calm, krodha, lobh. When they will stop? Till the end of the body. They will keep, even if you're on the deathbed, krodha will come. You see some old people, they are very angry. You go to them, Hare Krishna, how are you? They will just say some, Shabd Vedhi Baan. so they get krodha. Many spiritualists as well as says they cross the ocean of calm, they cross the ocean of lust, but they drown in the puddle of krodha, the puddle of anger. So puddle of anger, it says puddle is a very, very small thing. No one drowns in the puddle, but the analogy is given. They can cross the ocean of lust. Crossing the ocean of lust is very difficult. Overcoming your lusty desires is very, very difficult. But more difficult than that is to cross over this puddle of krodha, which is very small. But people usually get stuck in this puddle. So you should tolerate the Vega. Vega means it will come and it want to spit it out. I want to say to this person, you are wrong, Prabhuji. But he says, in this Vega, these Vegas will come. Sodhum. Sodhum means tolerate. Vacho Vega, Mansa Krodha Vega. We'll read in next instruction 6 types of urges we should try to stop. Once you stop, then you can make the disciples all over the world. Shaknoti hai vyashonu prakshari moksharat kam krodha dhavam vegam sa yuktaha. One who is yukta with this, one who has this, sa sukhi naraha. Then he will become happy. Now, if you have your calm and krodh with you, you think you will become happy? As per this verse, if you are not yukta with this, you cannot be happy. You cannot be happy. So a definition of happiness is described in this verse by tolerating. It's not saying, oh, how did you receive the desire? So the getting the desire is not condemned. You got the desire. Any desires can come into you, but do not entertain the desire. Do not act on the desire. And only as advanced spiritualist can respond that way. Okay, Samit Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So just a question, like in terms of the practical material life, in your workplace, people may try to do different things to either demean you or, to make people look down upon you, that they might play some politics.
Yes.
So how to deal with those kind of things,
Yes.
Obviously, when there'll be an action from their side, you would want to, have some sort of counter action just to, diffuse that or do something. So how to maybe deal with those kind of situations?
Your question is answered by Krishna already. 5.21, first line. Vahya sparsheshva asaktatma. Asaktatma means unattached. He's not saying he's not working on it. He's unattached in the work. That's what the whole chapter is. We are having karm me sannyas, not karm se sannyas. You're taking renunciation while performing the action. So doing action is your duty. You have to do your action. But how you're doing your action, that's what will determine you are bound or not bound. So how you should do your action? Asaktatma. But it's not recommended you don't do the action. So you have to do action. If someone is demeaning you, throwing some accusation on you, you have to respond appropriately, whatever is needed in that situation. But you're doing that as asaktatma, not asaktatma. My whole life will be ruined if I don't win over this email. That person has said something and I have to prove I am better than him. I am right and he is wrong. So you become Mr. Right, my way or highway.
Mm-hmm.
And many times in personal life, we burn our relation. We burn our relation. My Guru Maharaj was just saying, being right all the time is not worth it. Being right all the time is not worth. You're right. You're right. What you're saying is correct. What you think is correct. But to prove yourself correct, you may burn your relation. So you respect the relation or you proving yourself right. So it says many times when you say sorry to someone, it's not that you're saying you were wrong. You respect that person or you respect that relation more than you proving yourself as right. So that's the whole idea. So no one is stopping you to do the work, but you should not get so much bugged up in the work that, my whole image is just dependent on, am I able to prove myself right in the eyes of the world? No. The whole world, it says, Sridhar Swami says, if the whole world spits at you, but Krishna appreciates you, I don't care. If the whole world appreciates me, but Krishna doesn't like it, my spiritual master doesn't like it, I don't want that. The whole world is appreciating. Who will not like it? Everyone loves that, isn't it? We all need likes. Facebook likes 20 also is good enough to make us proud, like a balloon. So no one is stopping you to do the action. You have to do the action. Prabhupada fought many court cases, for example. Many court cases. Why does he Uttam Adhikari like Prabhupada is going to fight a court case in this material world, in this small, tiny material world? He did that. He did that. He respected every single dollar of Krishna. One time, some disciples, for some reason, went to the jail. A group of devotees went to the jail because they were doing some Sankirtan. Anyway, they went to the jail and they called Prabhupada from the jail. Prabhupada, the lawyer is charging $7,000. Now we are talking back in 70s. That time, 7,000 was like probably, $100,000 now, maybe more. So say, Prabhupada, lawyer is going to charge $7,000 to make the bail papers. Prabhupada said, don't give even $1 to the lawyer. Just stay there and do the Sankirtan. You know what devotees did? They started doing Sankirtan. They started chanting Hare Krishna. They were doing Mangala Aarti. They were doing Guru Aarti. They're chanting Japa without Japa beads, obviously. And they're doing Raj Bhoga. So they were just so happy. And when they were happy, the other prisoners, now in the jail, you don't have much entertainment, right? So other prisoners also started participating in their activities. So their Sankirtan was increasing inside the jail. The jailer got mad with this Mangala Aarti and Guru Aarti and Sandhya Aarti and Bhagavad-Gita classes. They were having everything in the jail. Said, you're not allowed to speak. Don't speak a word. And the jailer said they had to listen. So you know what they started doing? Mangala Aarti without speaking. Playing kartas, mridanga, book distribution. When he saw that, he got even more mad. And by that time, this contagiousness, this corona got spread to the other guards as well. And they also started saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. One time, a big jailer from another jail came to this particular jail. And what happened? One of the guards said to this big officer, Hari Bol. And he got completely mad. And when he investigated the whole thing, and he said, these devotees are damaging more inside than outside. He threw them out. Literally, they took them in a van and they threw him in some park somewhere. He said, you stay out, that's better. So that's what Prabhupada was, and many other instances are there. So Prabhupada fought court cases. Just one simple example. He fought with Mr. Nair in Bombay land. He fought. He pleaded with ministers. He wrote letter to Indira Gandhi. He did every single thing in the material world. So you have to do the things appropriately as per the situation. But inside, your heart should not get sick if you say get defeated. If you get insulted, humiliated, it's fine. This is what Krishna's desire is. It says humiliation comes before humility. I think Radhanath Maharaj says that humiliation comes before humility. Sometimes humiliation is important for us. So we should not feel too bad in the heart if people don't look at the right things. It happens all the time, all the time. People are blaming Mother Sita, people blame Lord Ram, people blame Krishna, people blame Prabhupada. Someone will blame us, someone will misunderstand us, misrepresent us. It's just bound to happen in the material world. Based on our actions and reaction, it will happen. Based on Krishna's plans for us, it will happen. So it will just happen. But it does not stop you to do your duty. You should do your duty. But with asaktatma. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. Do whatever is needed to be done, but your heart should be given to Krishna. Whatever happens outside, it's just okay. Some winning, some defeats, it's okay. Okay.
Sure.
Let's move to maybe one more verse we can do. Sorry, we are doing 524. Who will do the last verse of the day? Who hasn't done as yet? Rupam Prabhu is coming forward.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yo anta sukha antara aramas.
Yo anta sukha antar aramas.
Tathantara jyotir evaha.
Tathantar jyotir eva yaha.
Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam.
Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam.
Brahma Bhuto Digachati.
Brahma Bhuto Digachati.
Translation: one whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So just the extension of the similar thoughts you can see. I'll start from this one word which I really like, Antah Jyoti. So Antah Jyoti, if you don't read the translation of Prabhupada, you may feel some sort of Jyoti inside us. Prabhupada very expertly translates that aiming within. He's not talking about any light or this. One of the Prabhupada a guest came to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was saying, chant Hare Krishna, meditate on holy name. So he's saying, Prabhupada, I also do meditation and I see light. So he was thinking, Prabhupada will appreciate me. Oh, you are so advanced, you are seeing light. But Prabhupada said, you start chanting Hare Krishna, you will stop seeing the light. Prabhupada was never into making numbers, He was uncompromised in presenting devotional science. So Anta Jyoti, aiming within. So as we previously read many verses, so yo antaha sukho, he is looking sukha where? Antaha, inside. Anta Jyoti, Anta word is used 3 sides. So Anta. What does three mean in Shastra? Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. What does it mean? 3 times. The emphasis is so much that it's very important. So where you should look sukha? Antaha, inside. And where do we look? Bahya, outside. Which new TV, which new car, which new house, which new dress, which new publicity of myself. So bahya, you'll never be happy. You may be happy for a while, after a week or so. That's not sustainable happiness. Anta sukha, anta arama. So arama refers to say Ram. Prabhupada, I think the previous verse gave the definition previous to previous verse. Ramante yogino ante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padaneshu param brahma abhidhyate. So the intelligent person is remembering Lord Ram in their hearts. So where do they look their aram? Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj used to say, Ram means aram. So when you get Lord Ram, you are in aram. But when you are not with Lord Ram, you are always anaram. What's the opposite of aram? Rupam Prabhu can probably think. Anyway, you're uncomfortable if you're not with Lord Ram. If you're with Lord Ram, with Krishna, you're very comfortable. Ram means aram. So 24. So that person who is looking anta sukha, anta aram, anta jyoti, is aiming within. Sa yogi, he is the yogi. And the new word introduced in this verse is Brahman Nirvana. So Brahman Nirvana, this word is quite popular even in the material level. When I say material level, within other material organizations. So where do we hear this word? Nirvana, anyone remembers?
In Buddhism, I think.
Buddhism, thank you, Mataji. So what does Nirvana mean? Anyone can guess? We all Sanskrit scholars. Mr. Adi is here. He can help. What does Nirvana mean?
Liberation, Prabhu.
Liberation, thank you very much. How do you break this word? Nirvana. Vana means barn. Everyone knows barn? When a barn pierces your heart, we see, in love movie or love sign, we all see a heart being pierced by a barn. No one likes that barn. So barn means what it pierces. So material word is always called barn. So one of the names in Sanskrit of material word is called barn. Barn means material word is always piercing. Durga Devi's Trishul is always piercing the living entity. And there are three Trishul, three spike in the trident. And what they are saying, go to Krishna, go to Krishna, go to Krishna. That's a very different way of saying go to Krishna, but that's what she's saying. She's a Vaishnavi. So by giving us dukkha, what she's saying. So sometimes, child, by Adi, I'm remembering a childish thing. Sometimes the child may be very involved in a very little funny things, and parents will say, chalo, chalo, chalo. And he'll say, nahi, papa, nahi jana, nahi jana, nahi jana. Papa, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. So what intelligent parents will do, they'll put something in that toy which child start hating with, right? They'll put some chili in the hand or something. I know one parent did this. This little girl used to suck the thumb all the time. Even when she was 8 or 9, she was sucking the thumb. It was very embarrassing for the parents. So they start putting some sort of chili in the hand. As soon as she will suck the thumb, then she will get the chili taste in the mouth and she will just not suck the thumb anymore. And there are many examples. So Durga Devi, by giving us a trident, by giving us some dukkha, what is saying, don't become complacent in the material world. Get out, get out, get out. But we start blaming Durga Devi sometimes. Oh, she is making so much trouble. She's not making trouble. She's helping us to get out. This place is not a permanent place. You please get out from here. Huh? So Brahman Nirvana refers to you are liberated from this barn. Barn means material world. Nirvana means you are liberated. So you go there where is no barn. Nirvana, no barn. And where is that? Is spiritual realm. Huh? So Brahman Nirvana refers to the spiritual existence. Brahma Bhuto Adhigachati. You will receive that platform. And when you will receive the platform, it says Abhuto. Brahma Bhuta, no, is here it says Brahma Bhuta, being self-realized, you will attain the Brahman platform. Okay, so if you're looking happiness inside, you're aiming within, you are feeling comfortable with Ram, with Krishna, then you will receive the spiritual platform. And how's that spiritual platform? Brahman Nirvana is liberation from the material energy, from the material dukkha. Okay, I'll stop here. It's 9:16. If there's any quick question, I'll take. Okay, everyone looks happy, satisfied. Even if not, clock tells them, get out, don't ask any more questions. Okay, so even if you have questions, please write it and we'll try to continue next week. Now, next class, Sumit Prabhuji is on...
next Thursday, Prabhuji, it will be on the 20th.
Okay, so please make a note in your diary, 20th. So today we had to prepone the class because tomorrow is a great festival for many Indian families, which is nice. So we'll see you all on 20th of